So let's talk about AI, but maybe not in the way you're used to. We're going to look at how India is trying to create a whole new blueprint for global AI, one that's way more focused on people. And it all kicks off with this simple but really powerful idea: welfare for all, happiness of all. Right from the get-go, you can tell this isn't just about building faster algorithms. It's about a fundamental vision for humanity. This one phrase, it pretty much sets the stage for everything else. And this is a really big deal. Why? Because it's the first time a global AI summit is being hosted in the global south. Think about that. It completely changes the conversation. We're moving away from just talking about profits or defense, and instead we're focusing on things like development, inclusion, making sure everyone gets a piece of the AI pie. Okay, so what does this new stage for AI actually look like? Let's break it down. All right, here are the quick facts. We're talking about the India AI Impact Summit in 2026, happening in New Delhi. But look at that last point. Over 100 countries are involved. That's huge. This is not some small regional get-together. It's a full-on global movement. So to really get what India is doing here, you have to understand the philosophy behind it. And it's all built on these three guiding principles they call sutras. This is the why, the core DNA of their whole strategy. So you're probably asking, what's a sutra? Well, the word literally means a thread, and that's a perfect way to think about it. It's a core idea that ties everything together, weaving this big vision for AI into something that actually makes sense and you can act on. It's a pretty cool ancient concept for a super modern problem, right? And here they are, the three big pillars. First, it's about people. The AI has to be for everyone, with fair benefits. Second, it's about the planet. AI has to be sustainable. It has to help with things like climate change. And third, progress. Yeah, we want economic growth, but it has to be inclusive growth. These three things, people, planet, progress, they are the foundation for everything that follows. Okay, so we have the why, the sutras. Now let's get to the how. And for that, we have the 7 chakras. Think of these as the action plan, the blueprint for turning that big vision into something real. Basically, each chakra is like a specialized task force, a working group focused on one key area. Their whole job is to take those big ideas, people, planet, and progress, and make them happen on the ground in very specific ways. And just look at this list. I mean, the sheer scope of it is pretty amazing. It's a complete 360-degree plan. You've got everything from reskilling the workforce, human capital, all the way to making sure AI is safe and trustworthy, and even democratizing access, so it's not just for the big guys. It's a super ambitious, all-encompassing strategy. This is a lot to take in, so let's zoom in and look at just one of these to see how it works. We'll pick the first one, human capital. This is all about people, right? Getting the workforce ready for a world powered by AI. And check this out. This chart from the Stanford AI Index report, it tells you exactly why they're so focused on this. India's AI hiring is growing at around 33% a year. That's leading the world. So this isn't just some random plan they cooked up. They're building on a massive strength they already have. Okay, strategy is great, but what does this actually look like in the real world? Let's get away from the big plans and see how AI is already making a difference for people across India right now. Let's ask a really simple, practical question. Forget all the buzzwords for a second. How can AI actually help, say, a farmer in a rural village? Well, here's one answer: Kisan e-Mitra. It's an AI chatbot, but the key is that it's voice-based. A farmer doesn't need to type. They can just talk to it. And not just in one language, but in 11 different regional languages. They can ask about the weather, crop prices, government programs, anything. It just smashes through those literacy and language barriers. And get this, we're not talking about some small test project. This thing handles over 20,000 questions every single day. That is a massive, direct impact. This is what AI for the people actually looks like. And it's not just for farming. You've got Bashini, this incredible platform that's breaking down language barriers all over the country. You've got AI helping doctors diagnose things like TB and cancer in remote places that don't have specialists. Even the justice system is using it to translate complicated court rulings into local languages so people can actually understand them. This is what AI for good looks like when it's put into practice. Now, a vision this huge doesn't happen by itself. you need some serious muscle behind it, right? So let's talk about the money and the infrastructure that's being poured into making India a global hub for this kind of AI. And believe me, this isn't just talk. This vision is being bankrolled by huge, massive investments in AI tech and all the digital plumbing that makes it work. For example, look at Microsoft. They're putting in 1.5 lakh crore rupees. That's a ton of money, all going into data centers and AI training right there in India. That is a serious vote of confidence from one of the biggest tech players on the planet. And it doesn't stop there. Amazon's in for almost 2.9 lakh crore by 2030 for cloud and AI. I mean, these are just staggering, world-class investments. They're completely reshaping the entire AI landscape. But it's not just about the big corporations. What might be the real game changer here is how they're making AI accessible to everyone. They're subsidizing the cost of computing power, the stuff you need to run AI, to less than half the global rate. Think about what that does. It opens the door for startups, for students, for researchers, for anyone with a good idea. So, when you put it all together, what's the end game? Well, the goal for this summit is to stop just talking about AI in the abstract and start turning these ideas into real-world results that help people. It's about creating a blueprint for responsible, inclusive AI that, honestly, the rest of the world could probably learn a thing or two from. And that really leaves us with one big question to think about. We all know AI is changing everything, right? So as it reshapes our world, maybe this development-first, people-focused approach isn't just a blueprint for India. Maybe it's the blueprint we all need.